Mr. Windmill, please.
I'd just like to say when we're adding new programs, we need to look at these facts. We need to look at, are they wanted, are they worth it, are they necessary, and are they affordable? And if a program's not literature-based or mathematical-based or science-based or computer-based, physically education-based or social science-based, it needs to be critically scrutinized before we allocate any funds to it.
What would that leave out?
Some good examples, I think, the IB programs, some home ec programs, some drama theater programs. Not saying that these don't add value, but programs like that would have to be looked at.
Would you like to go back to the 3 R's, the basics of reading, writing, and, as bad as it sounds, arithmetic?
Certainly it's a good fundamental. In today's age, you need to have a computer-based education as well. Students need to be familiar with computers, how they work, how they operate, and also I'm a big proponent of physical education in the school.
B. Jolly?
I'd just like to point out some things. We have done expansion of educational services in the Aboriginal education. We've got Finding My Way. We've got an elder, the only elder in the province that is employed by a division, who is looking after many of those things. We have an expansion of technology through learning with ICT. And we have support for the assistive technology that's being used in the schools with all types of children.
But B, are you in favor of auditing this program? It's great to sit up there and go over all these programs.
I think what happens is that we do. I think that...
Then let me ask you, as a current sitting trustee, why were no report cards ever made to the public? I mean, it's fine, and let's be brutally honest, judging by the turnout tonight, not many people are here. We don't know how many people are watching, but why doesn't the school board, the trustees, come out with an annual report card or a 2-year report card or a term report card that says, this is what we did, this is what we've accomplished, this is what has been happening with our students and our tax dollars?
Well, I think that every year we come out with a program, with a booklet like this. This is Brandon School Division Annual Education Results Report. This gives you and the public, and it's there for you to take. It's been at the board meetings, it's been everywhere. We do look at programs, and we do get results from the administration that come and tell us how the programs are going, or so do the staff.
May I ask you one final sidebar to this? Why, as a board, are you not doing a better job of letting us know, letting supporters of the school division know? I mean, it's great to publish a report. I've been doing this for 35 years. We all know what happens to reports when they're published.
Why don't you attend the board meetings?
We have reporters that attend the board meetings, but as a trustee, it's your job to let us know what's going on.
Well, we do. The media should be reporting what's going on at the board level. We have board meetings every month, every 2 weeks, whatever it is. Anyway, you should be there.
Perhaps you should familiarize yourself with the schedule, B.
It's no good use talking about that if you're not there to listen, and if the media don't report the things that we're saying.
We as a media are there at every meeting, but what I'm saying is when you publish these reports, why don't you make them better known?
You're not reporting it to the public.
I suspect we're going to create a lot of heat with that answer, but not much light. So between the two of you, if we could agree to disagree and move on to...
yes, we can. I believe Mr. Murray wanted to answer the question.
Perfect.
Oh, I've been eager to answer the question, John. Thank you. First off, we do review our programs quite regularly, and people who attend our board meetings know that, and it's done by our professional staff who are in the schools. They come to our board meetings and they bring us updates on what they're doing and how their programs and their services are affecting our students. When they feel that that needs to be placed in transition, they do that. So our programs are changing. They're not static. Our professional staff does that. And as far as the reporting of what's going on and how we get that out to the public, 2 meetings ago, Mr. Adrian Curlew attended that meeting and reported that our numeracy rates are up, our literacy rates are up, our graduation rates are up. I didn't hear that on CKLQ radio. I didn't see that in the Brandon Sun, John. So how do you want us to get that to people?
Let us know.
Next question from the panel.
I think I should probably refrain from editorial comment, but seeing as I have an honorary chair at the Brandon School Division office, I take offense to the fact that you say there are no media there. I will change gears for 2 seconds. I will ask this question to candidates Windmill, Murray, Beauvais, Bartlett, and Sefton. It is in the interests of our children that teachers are skilled and up-to-date in their field of expertise. Regarding the recertification of teachers, do you support continuing education requirements for teachers? And if you don't, why not? And I'll ask Wade Windmill to go first.
Yes, I do support ongoing teacher training and recertification. I feel that is something that's of critical importance and a wise use of tax dollars. So in short, yes, I certainly support that.
And I guess I'll just ask candidates to expand if they do not support that. I guess, would that be because it creates more red tape and training tie-ups for teachers, or why would you or would you not support that? So the next candidate, Jim Murray.
Thank you, Allison. In my experience in the teachers that I've dealt with, the teachers I've talked to throughout our school division, they're constantly updating their skills as it goes through. As far as recertification, I'm not sure that's the best use. At the last budget day, I did bring forward a proposal for another $200,000 for teacher professional development. That amount was reduced by the rest of the board, but I think that's where we need to be supporting teachers at the board level, is in professional development opportunities, and that's directed by the teachers themselves so that they can know what skills they need.
Just
to
a
do the job
follow-up
better.
question, Jim. Where do you think professional development should lie? We had a contingent of teachers, I believe, go to Connecticut in this past budget year to learn about gifted and talented.
Yes, we did,
teaching.
and that was directed by the HALOP teachers themselves, the teachers that were going to be doing that work with the children, and I feel that that's where that needs to be done. It needs to be done in conjunction with the teacher and the principal at the school, and they need to figure out where the professional development will best suit the students in their care.
So perhaps I might ask that another way then. Do you feel that professional development dollars should be going into the basics, like teaching children how to read, write, and do arithmetic?
There's a lot more today to teaching children than just reading, writing, and arithmetic, and I realize that a lot of people want the fundamentals, but I'm a big supporter of the arts in education as well, and if that's what a teacher needs to put in her arsenal to help her teach children, then I have no problem with them using their professional development to increase their skills as they see fit.
Thank you, Jim. Next, Oris Beauvais.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Jim just said there, but I do feel that it is a responsibility of the board to work with the, let's say, the Brandon Teachers Association and see how they can upgrade their training. The thing that keeps coming across to me, though, is we keep talking like we're training all our kids to go to university.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. Mr. Bartlett, if you could answer that question.
Thank you. I'd like to. Furthering the skills of our current teachers, absolutely. We already support ongoing education in the classroom. Dr. Michaels herself has said we are offering reading programs for our teachers so that they can be better equipped to teach our children at grade 1, 2, 3 level. We have an Empower reading program that is highly efficient, highly skilled, but we need the teachers knowledgeable in it. We are offering that. We are offering the literacy training that our elementary teachers do need.
And lastly, Mr. Sefton, in your response, obviously you have come from a school division background. Maybe you could tell us some personal experience about any teacher upgrades, recertification, or professional development, and if so, would you wish that to continue?
Thank you. There's a lot to your question there, I think, Allison. First of all, to answer your first question, I don't believe in the recertification idea. I think the last thing we need, we've been talking here tonight about costs and taxation and all that. Do we really want to throw another level of bureaucracy and cost into the cost of education? And who would that serve? And I ask that question rhetorically because teachers currently do a lot of professional development. I know in answer to your other question, myself, I was forever taking courses and workshops and those kinds of things in the areas that I was teaching. So
Thank you, Mr. Sefton.
Okay.
You wanted to add something, Pat?
Yeah, I did.
I'm definitely a firm believer in that. The people who are working for you should have the tools to do their job. With regards to training with teachers, it's been my experience that teachers don't necessarily have the money at their disposal to determine what training they need. And to take that a step further, I think that it should be more self-directed through the teachers.
Okay, I have a question for the following candidates: Linda Ross, George Bury, Glenn Crook, Peter Bartlett, and Michael Barrett. And it's not on the menu, Alison. We've heard a lot of talk in response to John's question about programs that should be audited and maybe be cut. And it seemed the International Baccalaureate program was the first one mentioned by a number of the candidates. Being an IB parent, I have a question for the candidates I just named. Do you regard the IB program as a luxury that should be cut, or do you regard it as a program that's designed to enhance the learning opportunities for a certain group of children and realize their potential? Linda Ross, you're first.
Thank you. I get to answer the rest of my question from before. I was really concerned about some comments that have been made about focusing on basics and so on, and cutting the frills like IB, and I think that that does a great injustice to our kids, because what we need to be concerned with is equity for all kids. That doesn't mean equality. There are different programs that are best for different kids, and we need to make sure that we're addressing everybody's needs.
Okay. George Bury?
Yes, if we're not doing that, we're not doing our duty as a school division. Our duty is to educate all children and give them the programs that they need. An IB program is not a frill. It's an absolutely necessary program for our kids. It enhances their opportunities, society's opportunities, and us as a school division.
George, there's been a lot of speculation in the community as to what exactly the IB program costs on a yearly basis. You're the chairman of the board. What is the cost?
I don't think it really costs all that much. I don't have the figures at my hand. If I knew I was getting that question, I would have brought them with me. But what we're getting out of it is much higher than the cost. I mean, it's much greater. Okay. And we're not going to be saving a lot of money by cutting a program like that. But we have to educate all children. We have to provide programs for children, for all children in our division. I deeply believe in this. We need these programs. Our division has improved so much over the last few years.
Glenn Crook, do you believe the IB is an expensive luxury that should be cut?
I think it goes back to what John Lareggio was saying before, and that's research and accountability. And that is not with specifically one program, but with regards to all programs. If there are needs that are greater in other programs than the programs which are not as effective or as possibly as needed would have to be cut.
Okay. Peter Bartlett.
Thank you very much. I have to agree with George in that we are responsible. In fact, we wouldn't want to do other than teach all children. It is in fact mandated by the province of Manitoba through legislation, through the appropriate education programming. We don't have an option as to whether we are going to provide something for those who have high ability or those who have lesser ability. And so we endeavor to provide those types of programs that will meet the needs of individuals where they are. We have the HELA program. It serves those people well. And I'm very pleased to see that the teachers or the staffing is already... Got to quit? Okay.
Michael Barrett.
Thank you. When we talk about cutting programs, I think each program is important to someone. That person is no less important than me or my family, because whether we're affected by it or not, I think if we're looking at cutting any programs, the IB program, anything, we need to look at a cost-benefit analysis, how many students it's benefiting, what the costs are, and I think we need to do that with all programs before we say we can cut anything. And I'm not going to sit here tonight and say I've got the expertise to say I can cut or add any particular programs.
Okay, thank you.